It's time for the One Bar and Lupagus Show, bringing you anything and everything Minnesota Vikings.
Welcome to professional football.
Hello everyone, I am Lupagus, and this is the One Bar and Lupagus Show. Today we're going to preview the Vikings running backs as we approach training camp season here. We're only a month or so away, well, almost 2 months away from training camp, assuming it goes on schedule. And we're looking at the Vikings running back depth chart. I figured with Delvin Cook holding out, it's a good time to talk about this position as we approach training camp. So before we get into that, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We're closing in on the big old 600, and like our vids if you do. If you don't, I don't care. I'll just keep watching. All right, so Vikings depth chart as it stands right now, obviously, pending that holdout, Delvin Cook is the top dog. Behind him, there's Alexander Mattison, Mike Boone, Amir Abdullah, and something called Tony Brooks James. All right, so obviously Delvin Cook's the big talker. Is this going to be a lengthy holdout? It's hard to say at this point. You know, it's really kind of odd because Delvin Cook doesn't, have a lot of things going in his favor. Sure, he's a dynamic back who can score anytime he touches the ball. He's a great receiver. He runs with great power and speed and vision and all that stuff, but he's never completed a full 16-game season. In fact, he's only started 29 games in his career, which basically means for about a season and a half he has been on the sidelines due to injury. He's got the ACL, he's got shoulder issues. The shoulder issues almost seem to be a chronic problem. Those haunted him back in college. So the Vikings can easily say, hey, why would we pay you, or at least pay you what you want when you have not proven to stay healthy? And also, you look at what's on the depth chart. You got Alexander Mattison a season ago proved that he can be, an effective back in the NFL. Mike Boone got almost 150 yards in the one game that he got to start. And you have a veteran Amir Abdullah, behind them. So the Vikings can definitely survive without Delvin Cook. And I feel that they have all the power in this, and Cook doesn't have nearly as much as the average holdout would. So hopefully Delvin Cook can get signed and can be in camp on time, just because the Vikings do not need this distraction. This is Mike Zimmer's final season. They're going to be making a playoff push, trying everything they can to go farther than they did last year. And the last thing they need is a guy like Delvin Cook holding out to, just be that morale dropper. Reporters, once they can start going to the facility, will question. Everything will be about when do you think Delvin Cook's going to be there. Delvin Cook this, Delvin Cook that. Delvin Cook will be hanging over this team like a big dark cloud that's going to just storm on them if he does hold out. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But let's talk about the guys who will be there. Alexander Mattison, season ago he ran for over 400-something yards. The biggest thing that surprised me about Madison last year was just that when he hit that top speed, he was actually pretty fast. There were times where you're like, whoa, was that Cook out there? And you realize it was Madison. It's like, holy shit. Just because we figured this guy was going to be more of a pounder, kind of the Marshawn Lynch type with guys bouncing off him. But for being that short yardage specialist guy, he actually didn't do great in those situations. I know he had a few goal line attempts that he could not punch the ball in. So, again, I think that'll all improve this year. He should see more touches regardless if Cook is there or not. And then behind him, you got Michael Boone. You got to love Michael Boone, the way he runs. He's a violent runner, kind of a slashing type, kind of wild man out there. He's hard to bring down, and, he has shown the ability to move the chains on the ground. And the Vikings have to rely on him more next year. They can and they will, and they should feel confident about that. And here's the thing. Now, if Cook does hold out and goes into the season, that would open the door for Amir Abdullah, to make the team. Otherwise, I don't think he does. He was a great special teamer, especially as a gunner. He really improved last year. He seemed to really like that role, and he did well in it. But the Vikings have so many other guys now who can be that gunner. Chris Boyd stepped up last year, and there's some, late-round rookies and even some undrafted guys who can make the team, who could be real good special teams players. So if Cook holds out, then I think Abdullah's door is open to make this team. But if not, I think Abdullah's going to be cut. Same goes for Tony Brooks James, though he does have some returnability to him. He's an extreme long shot to crack this roster. You also got to factor in, when you talk about the Vikings running backs, you got to talk about C.J. Ham. He has shown the ability to come in, get a carry here or there, and actually be an emergency running back. And he is Kirk Cousins' favorite option when he has a free play. Don't forget that. Nothing like the free play 1-yard pickup that Cousins and Ham, that's their specialty. And there's also Jake Bargas. And he might start this year. No, he's not. I didn't want to talk about Jake Bargas. So The Vikings depth chart, running backs, as we look for, there's not really going to be any battles here in camp. I don't see any battles at all. It's going to be Cook, Madison, Boone, and then if Cook holds out, Abdullah will make the team. Otherwise, it's a pretty cut and dry position when you look at it from top to bottom. But you got three talented backs here who all are going to do very well in Gary Kubiak's scheme, zone blocking. This line is really built for the run game. I think the Vikings are once again going to have an amazing run game. If that involves Delvin Cook, or even if it doesn't, Madison and Boone can definitely carry the load. So, all right, that's all I got for you guys today. We'll be back later in the week. And again, remember, keep checking back every single day. We will have new Vikings content on a daily basis, sometimes multiple content if you're really lucky.